Hello world, hello YouTube land. Just want to do a quick video on my thoughts on the new Civil War movie, the Captain America Civil War. I've just been flicking through my old version of the comic book, and it's really noticeable how different the comic book is to the movie. It's not the same thing. But if you look at my T-shirt, there's a faded Iron Man on there. And that's kind of what comic books are becoming to me now. They're starting to fade away a bit into my history. I'm moving on, and comic books aren't really saying anything to me anymore. It's good to have a bit of escapist, fun, like some time out. But the problem with comic books is that they're set in the real world, and it's particularly Marvel, which is set in New York, and it's I know there's different countries like Wakanda and stuff in Marvel, but they deal with the president, they deal with contemporary political issues, and when something is just so completely cowered by political correctness and unafraid to deal with certain issues, yet ostensibly set in a real world, it kind of takes you out of the fantasy moment, and this constant reminder as you both reading the comics and watching the movie that this is fraudulent. Big example in the Civil War movie is that the superheroes are flying around the world protecting people as superheroes do from terrorists. But the terrorists in comic books and the movies are always crazy white guys. Turn the TV on today, right? Now look at who the terrorists are. Are they crazy white guys, or are they people with a certain faith, certain ideology? I'm talking about Islam. Islam does not exist in comic books. It does not exist in the Civil War movie. They're not going to discuss that. It's too problematic. It's the elephant in the room, which is trumpeting, farting, and shouting Allahu Akbar whilst chopping people's heads off, and they're ignoring it. They ain't going to go there. So when you got a comic book movie like Civil War, which is ostensibly dealing with real world issues, whilst not mentioning the big farting jihadi elephant, it's a bit too much for me to take, really. I know people watching this video are going to say it's a comic book movie, don't take it so seriously, and I agree with you, which is why my T-shirt is fading and why I'm starting to care less and less about comic books, and realise perhaps on a personal level that I need to grow up. I need to leave these things behind me. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm an adult, and it's perhaps time that I started acting like an adult and leaving these comic books behind. The movie had one moment which lasted about 10 minutes where all the superheroes were fighting each other and quipping and punching, but nobody was getting hurt, nobody was getting shot, and it was funny and it was childish and it was silly, and I think that's perhaps what the movie should have been. If you're gonna do a movie that is not going to talk about the like I said before, the farting jihadi elephant in a room, then make it silly, make it fun. I felt the tone of the movie of Civil War was a bit mixed, a bit unsure, a bit uncertain, a bit confused. That's probably the best word, confused. It ended seriously. It began seriously, but it didn't really deal with any issues. It all became, and this is my new thing, it all became feelings over meanings. Iron Man, Mr. Intellectual Super Brain, became all about feelings. I don't buy that. But he had to be. He had to be about feelings because it's basically Captain America against Iron Man. And if it's going to be meanings against meanings, then it's problematic if you're not dealing with a fasting jihadi elephant. So it was Mr. Feelings, Iron Man against Captain America, who apparently doesn't even believe in the sovereignty of America anymore. He was very happy for Iron Man to suggest that the superheroes should be controlled by the United Nations. Of course, he wasn't happy about that, but when that suggested, yeah, the oversight should be the United Nations. The argument wasn't coming back from Captain America. Wasn't no, we should not be overseen by the United Nations. Should be overseen by the U.S. military or the U.S. government or whatever. Captain America didn't even bring that up. It was dropped. So the assumption was that the United Nations sits above America, and it wasn't questioned. Captain America didn't question it. He was against it, but he didn't question it. There should have been an argument that if we are going to be controlled by anyone, why is it not America? Why is it United Nations? So there's a globalist message in the movie as well, on that level, which is not even questioned. I give the movie as a rating probably about 6 out of 10. It's slightly better than the Batman movie, but the Batman Superman movie. But there's no intellectual depth there. It's not dealing with world history post the Cold War period. Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, what's happening in Syria. All those things don't exist in the movie. So it's a strange world. It's a world without Islamic terrorism. It's a world where 9/11 didn't happen. It's a world where we're still sort of dealing with, I don't know, the dregs of the Soviet Empire and the Cold War period, which is really strange because it's 2016. But it's a superhero movie. I'm expecting too much. I'll let my t-shirt fade, and eventually I'll throw it away. The Civil War movie shows you at least that American comic book superhero movies ain't gonna touch the farting jihadi elephant in the room. Okay, I'll end my video there, and I'll leave a link to the movie down below. Let me know what you thought of the movie, and if you're just going to say it's a comic book movie, don't take it so seriously, I know, and I agree with you. Okay, take care everybody, be nice to each other, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.